The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Miltus freaking today, Milishman. My name is King Prime and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another long-awaited Transformers Legacy toy review, that being the Transformers Legacy Commander Class Motormaster. At long last, we are finally going to be taking a look at the last of the Stunticons that I need to review for this channel before we can finally move on to that Menasor review. But before I do that, let's take a quick look at what it comes in. So on the front we have a nice picture of Motormaster kind of speeding along there. You can see the speed lines behind him. Very nice. His name is Motormaster. Has the nameplate on the side there. Legacy Trades, as well as the Commander Class. And also, it's very funny. You can see the Stunticons kind of down there doing their Stunticon things. Side there, Hasbro Trades. Big Transformers logo and nice and red and metal and stuff. Generations and Takara Trades. Up top, we have a nice picture of the toy and vehicle mode, as well as Transformers Legacy on the top. On the side, we have a very angry-looking picture of Menasor, actually, which is very interesting to see, shooting the ground, apparently. And I'm assuming that says Menasor, or at least I think it says Motormaster and Cybertronian, given how long it is. On the other side, we have the nice Wave 1 art as Transformers Legacy and Authentic Trades. And on the back, we have a picture of Menasor without any of the components. It says there we need, Wild Rider and Drag Strip, and that's it, which is strange. No mentioning of dead end or breakdown, which is, funny to see. Some more legal trades there. Warnings, legal jargon, yada yada, the base mode, which don't get me started, and the same picture that we had up on the top. That is pretty much it, my friends. I say it in every single video. You don't really care about the packaging if you are a box collector, of which I am not. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame.
You betrayed yourself.
Freeze frame unfreeze, and here we have Motormaster in his vehicle mode. He has accessories. We'll look at them eventually, but I did just want to take a look at the vehicle itself without the trailer first, because the trailer is just made up of the Menasor components, essentially. So that can go to the side there, and the bed of the truck came undone, which is fun. But Motormaster himself is just, a cab-over truck, much like Optimus Prime. Speaking of, let's get in some comparisons here. Right now, here we have Classics 06 Optimus Prime, who is just about the same size as the Earthrise here. Here we have him next to, as I bump the camera, the rest of the Stunticons. Here's Breakdown. Here is Dead End. Here is Wild Rider. And here, if we can get him in here, I'll have to turn all of them like that, is Drag Strip. So here we have the team. Actually, let me just, I know it's not exactly accurate to the formation of the combined mode, but there they are, all next to each other. As you can tell, they are, much smaller. It's obviously because he's a truck, but, that's that. And you'll see more of them in the Menasor video, but I did just want to bring them in just for the comparison of vehicle mode. I am showing the vehicle mode off first simply because the figure is packaged in vehicle mode. I usually start from whichever mode the figure is packaged in. As for the transformation of this guy, this little gamer here, we have a pretty standard transformation. First thing you're going to want to do is start untabbing these little plates here. As you can hear, they just tab in up on the top using these little tabs here that slide in between this gap. As you can see, I have a little tab, yep. And you can swing these out to either side. You can also fold these tabs down right now. You're not going to really need them in the unfolded position currently. What you can do then is take these panels, which are just tabbed into the side of the robot mid-torso, and just untab them. So you can start folding out the legs of the robot mode. Take these two panels on the top, and you can get your thumb up underneath there and just pop them out like so. Do the same on the other side. You can then continue to stand up the robot mode legs, and you can straighten out the hips if you so choose. You can also tab in these panels right into those holes right there. As you can see, there's a hole and there's a tab on the panel. Let's peg those in like that. Come around to the back. You can separate the legs here, and then what you're going to want to do on the bottom here, as you can see, the front of the grill kind of separates in here. This is the ankle tilt. You can fold in the wheel and then rotate around the foot so that cab becomes the feet. It's the faux truck cab, which is funny. You can then take this panel that we untabbed first, and then you can see there's a little tab and a hole there. Just plug that right in there. Keep that nice and secure. And then this panel that we are left with, you can fold up this panel inside with the Decepticon logo and then just shut it closed. And that is the leg complete. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold in the wheel, fold out the ankle, rotate it. There you go. There you got the foot. Tab in that panel, fold in that panel, and then close that door. And there you have the second leg. I did forget to say you are going to want to extend legs because they will be kind of folded down like this because of the transformation. So just push on the back of the knees to straighten them out. Boom, boom. Now they are fully extended as they should be. Come to the top of the what used to be the bottom or the back of the truck. You can just push this down. As you can see, there are two tabs here that will fold, or that will tab into these two holes in the back of the truck. You can then fold down on this hinge, this panel that's connected to the arms, and it will tab in. As you can see, there's a hole there and a tab there. Tab that in. Tab that in. And then the robot mode head will be there. You can fold down the arms for now. We'll get there in a second. And then have this little wheel piece hanging out. You can untab it and then swing this whole assembly over, and it will fall into the grooves surrounding Motormaster's neck, like so. And then it'll just rest and tab in on the back of his back. As you can see, there's a little hole right there at the bottom of his back, and there is a tab there on the back of the truck. Tab that in, and you have that all completed. You can then, at this point, fold out these panels and flip out the wrists of the robot. And there you have Motormaster in robot mode. As you can tell, this robot mode is kind of I wouldn't say wibbly. It's fine. It's perfectly solid. But you know, this isn't purpose built to just be a single robot. This also transforms into a torso, which I'll show you in the next Transformers review. But this figure looks perfectly fine for what he is. Of course, you do have that nice metallic purple there for Motormaster's face, which is accurate to the G1 model. No eyes or light piping or anything. It's just a solid black brick of his head. Some nice purple detailing on his chest and white on his arms. He has some, purple on the inside. Nice Decepticon badge on his shoulder. And the gray trim, which is also accurate to the G1 model, going around his crotch and his chest and stuff like that. On his legs there, we do have, like I said, that faux truck, or that faux cab assembly, because, of course, it would kind of be impossible to get the vehicle mode cab onto his feet without this being a giant figure. So, they did the fake out, which is fine. A lot of panels on his legs, which I'm not too much of a fan of, but they're perfectly fine. I'm not too angry about it. As for the articulation, we do have just a swivel there at his head. He doesn't have anything too fancy there. He does have full range of motion at the shoulder, which does get a little bit hindered by the wheels back there. You can go fully out and stuff like that. He has an upper bicep swivel as well as a pretty average 90-degree elbow bend. His wrists do rotate, which is fantastic to see. And then I guess you could also say you get extra articulation here because of the robot mode joint, but I wouldn't count that. You do have a nice waist swivel, which is perfectly adequate. It does kind of look weird when you turn him, but it does its intended job. At the hips here, you'd have a full ratcheted range of motion, so you can get his leg going that far forward, all the way back, as well as all the way out, and he can do the like full Jean-Claude Van Damme splits, like holy crap, he can, and you know, mind the angle there. It does have an upper thigh swivel as well as a pretty good knee bend. In fact, it goes all the way back there, no hindrance at all. You do also have a ankle pivot and a swivel there, kind of, but that really gets hindered by that little piece here, which makes up the fender of the vehicle mode. So overall, not bad whatsoever. Let me do a quick freeze frame, and we can do a comparison with a couple of other figures. Freeze frame. Freeze frame on freeze. Now here is Motormaster next to Classics 06 Optimus Prime, who he is just a hair, or I guess I should say a block taller than. Here he is next to his teammates. Here he is next to Dead End, Breakdown. Here he is next to Wild Rider. And here he is next to Drag Strip. And that is one hell of a sight. Not to gripe a little bit, but I grinded to find this set here of all these guys together. I was not one of the people who bought the holiday bundle, which I will talk plenty about in the Menasor review, but finding Motormaster was a difficult challenge enough, and thankfully I did find him as well as the rest of the Stunticons. So I was able to complete this team, and they look good together. But before I talk about all my thoughts about this figure, we have some more things to cover, unfortunately, so we'll get to that freeze frame. Freeze frame on freeze. So for reasons I truthfully cannot discern, this figure has a base mode. I guess, you know, they got to fit in the commander class price point somewhere, and instead of just having a serviceable combined mode, which, you know, we'll talk about later, this figure also has a base mode. So let's get to that. Unfortunately, just fold up the kickstand and essentially just start disassembling the figure. You can first, you know, take that part off and just split this at the top, so you can take out the body part that becomes the waist and torso of Menasor, of course. Just straighten this out and listen to this nice ratchets click. Flip around the torso and just, you know, keep that there. And oh god, it only gets worse from here. Take the leftover bits and you can form, you know, just, you know, take these, straighten them out, straighten everything out really, and find the holes and the pegs, and form this sort of tower here. This tower can then attach onto the bottom of the torso bit by just plugging these tabs into these slots right here. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see these. I'm talking about these tabs right here, these vertical tabs into these slots, these vertical slots on the bottom of the torso. Once you plug those in, like so, and like so, oh boy, the damn thing will have a tower now, which is great, depending on who you ask. Slide that to the side for now. We can then break apart the top and the bottom, and you can see the sole accessory, which we'll talk about in the Menasor review. And you can break in half this top portion to then transform the blaster. Just fold that up, and then you can flip out these two handles. And you can then, as I zoom out again, take the tower, which you can see right here, and take that gun, put it right at the top of the tower, and now you have a tower with a gun on it. That's phenomenal. So useful and great. After that, what you're going to want to do is take these bottom parts right here, as you could say, the hands and the arms of Menassor's combined mode and split them in half. What you're meant to do here is just essentially break this in half at the elbow joint right there and right there. And then you can take this little peg here, and on the bottom of the torso mode, as you can see, there are pegs on the left and the right sides of the torso. And you can just plug those in right there and right there to create this improvised platform thing that is atrocious and I will never use after filming this. Then you take the leg bits, take the right leg, as you can see right here, and pull out the foot and extend this back panel. And what you can do then is just take this little peg here, plug it into this tab on the side of this panel, and you have another tower for some reason. And you can do the exact same thing on the other side. Unpeg this, fold it around, and then peg that in right there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the tower base defense mode. Yay. I'm not gonna talk more about this. There's no real point in it, truthfully. You can, of course, if you so choose, stick Motormaster right there, manning the guns. You can attach his arms to each of those handles, but truthfully, I don't care enough to. This has no meaning, and I don't care, and I will not be taking a single look more at this freeze frame.
Above all, do not lament my absence.
Freeze frame on freeze. So overall, this figure is perfectly fine. I don't really have any complaints about it. Of course, I do think that the Commander class figures are kind of overpriced as a whole. I'm not so jazzed about paying $80, or shit, even more, because of how resellers work with this specific line. But I'm not so opposed to it, especially when you get a great solid figure like this. I have no real complaints other than, you know, the legs are kind of chunky on this specific figure. In regards to the base mode, it was completely unnecessary, and I'm never literally going to use it ever again. This figure is a combiner, and I'm going to use it as a combiner. There is going to be no base mode Menasor. He's going to be the combiner for, you know, the rest of his duration on my shelf. But other than that, because I will save most of my criticisms of Menasor till the actual Menasor review, which will happen soon enough. But as for Motormaster himself, perfectly fine figure, perfectly adequate. I really enjoy this guy. I just wish he would have, come with weapons that he could actually use, because this dinky sword is actually for Menasor and not for him, even though he can hold it. It's not his. This isn't meant for him, which is a shame, because everyone else has their weapons, even if they're crap like breakdowns. But we roll on. We'll live with it. And I live with this, and I'm happy with it. But if you're happy with it, or you like Menasor or Motormaster or the Decepticons or Transformers in general, make sure you share this video with your friends, share it with Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Keeps helping me pump out this content, keeps helping the channel grow. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.